Jimin opened his eyes and he see himself in the room. He lay on the bed. Doctor, oh, so Jimin, you wake up. That's great. He smiled and Jimin see his sister and Mrs. Min is in the room. Jimin, how I come here? Mrs. Min, how are you? How are you, Jimin son? Jimin, I'm fine now, auntie. He sat and tried to sit on the bed. Mrs. Min, don't move, son, take rest. Jimin, but how I come here, Hannah? Yoongi take you. Gladly he see you on the road. Jimin, what are you doing in the rain? Tell me. Jimin, Yoongi take me. Hannah, yes, so now you tell me what you are doing there. Jimin can't believe he don't know what Yoongi said to them. And then Yoongi come in the room. Yoongi come in the room. Doctor, so now I took my leave. No, you stay here. Don't go, please, Hannah. See, Yoongi is here. I will be back in some minutes. She said, and go. Jimin looked into another side. Yoongi, I am sorry. I'll leave you alone. Jimin, just go from here. And what you said to them? Yoongi, I can't go away from you. And he said, I see you on the road lane and I take you. Jimin, tell them what you did with me. Yoongi, if you want, I will. I don't have any problem. Trust me, he said. And Jimin stay silent. Jimin, just stay away from me. Yoongi, you will. Jimin, I know you will fall for me. Jimin, I will never because I know the limits in relations. He said while looking at Yoongi. In short, he is pointing Yoongi. He don't have limits in relation. He don't know. Yoongi, Jimin, please, I am saying you again, please accept me. Forget about I also have self-respect. Please, Jimin. Jimin, Mr. Min, don't understand once, huh? I don't have light one car. I don't have any interest in you. We don't have any match. For God's sake, please leave me alone. Yoongi heard and he take his step back. Yoongi, okay, as you wish, he said, and then Mrs. Min come. She see Mrs. Min. What happened? Yoongi, Mom, I want to with Hannah as soon as possible. He said and looked at Jimin. Mrs. Min, really? I am so happy. She said. She smiled and Yoongi eyes is on Jimin. Jimin looked into another side. Hannah come. Hannah, Jimin, drink the soup I give you, met Jimin. You no need to worry about me, Nona. I'm fine. Hannah, I'm saying how much you are fine, Jimin. I already lose that. No, I can't lose you. I know I said so many things to you. Forgive me. Jimin, Nona, it's alright. Hannah. Still, they both are brother and sister. Jimin, you are best, you know, she said and smiled. Hannah idiot. She started to feed him. Mrs. Min smiled to see them. Mrs. Min, Hannah, my princess, Yoongi want to with you, she said, and Jimin looked at Yoongi, who is already stirring him. Jimin looking down, Hannah, but Auntie Jimin, I want first he complete his studies and become independent. Jimin, Nona, I will. She is with me, with Jungkook, and moreover, you are also here, so you stay happy in your life, Hannah. But still, Jimin, how can I leave you alone? How can I leave you alone? I understand. I set you to job and be independent, but still, Jimin, Nona, you said right, and I have to. Hannah, still, Jimin, please, Mrs. Min, I understand you, Hannah, my princess, but don't worry, I make him angry. He also stay with us. Jimin promise. Hannah promise about this later. She said, and Jimin stayed silent. Mrs. Min, okay, for now we do a small function because Jimin is also not well. We do after 1 week on Friday, she said, and Hannah smiled. Jimin smiled to see his sister. but she is thinking about Yoongi. Mrs. Min Yoongi, take Hana with you on shopping and also she buy a ring. Yoongi owl. Mom, tell me, Hana, when we go for shopping. Hana, when you are free. Yoongi, I am always free for you. He said and Jimin started coughing. Hana, are you okay? Jimin nodded and she gave him a water. Yoongi, are you okay? Are you are you? Jimin nodded. Yoongi, be careful, Jimin. What happened? Jimin looked at him. Jimin, nothing. Yoongi, okay, then we go tomorrow. He said, and she nodded. Mrs. Min, Jimin, now be fine soon. We have to do so much. Yoongi, let's go. Mom, I have so much work to do. He said and stand up. Mrs. Min also stand up. Mrs. Min, okay then, see you soon, kids. Hannah, thank you so much for coming. She said and meet with Mrs. Min, and then she looked at Yoongi. And she passed a smile. Hannah, let's meet soon. She said and Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, sure, be ready in evening. He said and Hannah nodded. Mrs. Min, I stay with Jimin. Yoongi, that's great. I don't know how much time it's take us outside, he said, but Jimin didn't look at him. Jimin, it's alright, auntie. I'm not kid. I can stay alone. Mrs. Min nodded and meet with Jimin, and then Jimin looked at Yoongi. Yoongi, bye Jimin, he said, and Jimin just staring him. He go from there and Hana go to see of them. Jimin rests his back on the backboard. He closes his eyes and take a deep breath. And then Hana come. Jimin open his eyes. Hana, Jimin, I am so happy. She said happily. Hana, Jimin, I am happy for you. Nona, he said and smiled. Hana, he himself wants it just like a dream. Jimin, but it's true, Nona, and she's just. Hana, yes, you are right. And Jimin, I am so sorry for what I said you on that trip. Forgive me, please. Jimin, it's alright, Nona. I won't mind, he said and smiled. Hana also smiled. Hana, okay, I'm going to inform my friends about my. She said and go. Jimin see her. Jimin, I am happy for my Nona. He said and lay on the bed. He tried to close his eyes, but Yoongi always come in front of his eyes. He sit on the bed surely. Jimin, what is happening with me? Okay, 8 minute हो गया. But he closed his eyes. He closed his eyes and tried to sleep. With so much effort, he fell in sleep. Next day, Jimin entered in the class and Yoongi also come. Both look at each other, and then Jimin remember about last night, how Yoongi and how he is always in front of his eyes. He didn't sleep properly last night. Yoongi is worried to see Jimin here in the university. What he is doing here? He have to take rest. And cook staying them. And other students are busy in their own work. JK, what is this day? They don't know. And Jimin is the one who always look into another side, and he go on his seat and sit beside Jay. Jay, hey bestie. Jimin, hey Jay cookie. JK, what happened? What happened? You are. Jimin, no. Jimin said something. Otherwise, he got to know whole lecture. I am straying him. He is thinking. Yoongi, Jen, tell Jimin what I explained today. He said, Jimin looking down. Yoongi, I think he's busy to doing something really important, so he didn't listen what I said, Jen. Jimin, you sure you didn't know? I mean, in whole lecture you are listening him. Jimin, about to speak. We are also human. We can also forget. यार इन्नी नींद आंदी ना जेह्दा कोई हिसाब नहीं। मैं केह् करां? 1 मिनट बस वॉइस ओवर दोबारा कंटिन्यू करती हूँ। हाय अल्लाह सर्दी लगन दी है, गर्मी च सर्दी। वैसे दिमाग खराब होया पिया, बंदा करे तो करे कि वॉइस ओवर भी इन्ना करन वाला नज़र मैनू कुछ नहीं आंदा। खत्म हो गया। He sang, okay guys, I have to go. I have some work. Jen, nowadays you are busy. Why, sir? She asked, and Youngi looked at him. Youngi, if you are asking, I share with you guys. Yeah, please, sir. Jimin look into another side. Youngi, I am going to soon. He said, and everyone eyes widen. Everyone, what? Youngi, yes, now. I don't listen, someone know this expect you guys, he said, and everyone nodded. Everyone nodded generally. Sir, I am so happy for you. Congratulations. Yoongi, happy, thanks. Jimin, let's go. Guys, lecture is already over. Finish. And everyone start to go. JK, oh hello. Why you are behaving like this, huh? Yoongi is also present that you are behaving like a broken. He said, and Jimin gave him clear. Jimin, let's go. JK, congratulations, Yoongi Hyung. I am happy for you. JK, at least let us congrats him. He said, and Jimin gave him glare. Yoongi, I think your friend don't like you said me congratulations. Jimin, no way. I don't like. No, why I don't like. I am happy for my Nona. Yoongi, yeah, right. You are so happy for, for. Okay, your Nona. I can see that. He said, and Jimin avoid eye contact with him. Yoongi, guys, can you give us some time? I want to talk with my soon to be brother. JK, why so long? Introduction, sir. Jimin, come in the canteen. Okay, we are going there. He said and go. Now Yoongi and Jimin is alone in the class. Yoongi, now if you want, you can tell me. I am listening. Jimin, what I tell you? Yoongi, that you also start to feel for me. He see his finger. He sees finger. Yoongi, such to someone else. Jimin sees finger attached with each other. He takes his hand back. Yoongi, you still have time to think. Jimin sighed as no. Yoongi, okay. Once look into my eyes and said you don't me. I promise I never said something. I never said you something. Jimin, you promise me you make my sister happy, Yoongi. And when I said I don't, I do. You have to tell me you me or not. Look into my eyes and tell me the truth, Jimin. No, I don't, Yoongi. It's mean you do me. He said, and Jimin looked at him. Jimin, why you are so stubborn, Jimin? What's the problem with you, Yoongi? Yoongi, nothing. I gave you chance, but you lost the chance. So now I am going. I have to take your sister with me on shopping. He said, and go. Jimin signed, and she also go. Finally, the day come. Yoongi is on the stage, and Jimin come. He is looking so beautiful. He wear white color dress. He thought to talk with Yoongi. He go and stand in front of him. Yoongi, what if you stand in front of me like this with full rights? He said, but this is the first time Jimin didn't react because now he also fell for Yoongi. He realized now he can understand Yoongi feeling, but still his sister is first for him. Yoongi, I am giving you chance now. Also, Jimin think once again. Jimin make my Nona happy. Yoongi, what make my Nona happy, huh? Don't you know other than this, Jimin? No. I just know one thing, and it's this. Otherwise, I talk with this whenever I talk with you, and you understand, you make her happy, otherwise it's not good for you. Yoongi, oh really, what you do, huh? Hmm. Huh? I really want to know what you do. Jimin san, Jimin Yoongi. Someone is not. I understand, but Yoongi, I am brother. My first priority is my sister happiness, and you don't know how much she's excited and happy to with you. So please don't do this with her, Yoongi. I promise with you. Yoongi. I promise with you. I make her happy. So I do. You no need to worry. Min Yoongi is the man of his word. He said in Jimin smile sadly. Jimin, if it's possible, Yoongi, then please forgive me. He said, and both look into each other's eyes. Yoongi, Jimin, it's not permanent, huh? Everyone's story is complete. I make her happy. It's my promise, but I only belongs to you. Jimin, I repeat, I respect your feelings, Yoongi. I promise I never you feel for me also. His sudden question made Jimin shocked. Now, what she said, he to him, but if he tell truth, and Jungi said he talked with his Hana or with his mom Iman Dasmer Jagla. What she do, Jimin? I have to see Nona, thanks. He said and go, Jimin. Jungi sign. Jungi is still not ready to accept his feelings. He said and sign, and now also and now and sign. He now also accepts, and then Mrs. Min come. She hold Jimin hand and take him also. Jungi mom, what happened? Jimin auntie, what happened? I have to meet Nona. Mrs. Min is looking Mrs. Min is looking worried. Mrs. Min, Hannah is not in the room. Jimin, maybe she was in the bathroom. Mrs. Min, Sana's no. Mrs. Min, I see her in the hall venue. She's not here. Yoongi, Jimin, she's here, auntie. Time skip. Jimin is finding his Hannah like a person. Jimin, auntie, my Nona, where she go? Where she go, his eyes become teary. He's worried. He's worried for his Nona, Mrs. Min. We find her later now, Jimin. You have to with Jung. It's about my respect. Please, all family members is here. Jimin eyes widen. Jimin, what? No. Mrs. Min, you have to understand. Jimin, no, auntie. How can I do this, Mrs. Min? You have to, Jimin. Wait, I see the guest. She go. Yoongi see Jimin. His eyes become teary. He can't believe how is Nona do this. She was so happy, and now suddenly what happened? Yoongi see Jimin. Jimin, you do all this. Yoongi, huh? What me? Jimin, tell me what you did with my Nona. Yoongi, what? Wait, you think I do something with her? Jimin, yes, you do. Tell me where is she? Is my Nona. He started crying. Yoongi, Jimin, listen. He tried to put his hand on his shoulder, and Jimin, take a step back. Jimin, I know you want to me. That's why you did all this. Tell me, Yoongi, what you did. I never with you. Yoongi, I swear, Jimin, I did nothing. He said, and Jimin signed as no, and Mrs. Min come. Mrs. Min, Jimin, she go from here with the boy. The guard tell me, Jimin, if he know, why don't you stop Nona? Mrs. Min, he said she give him money. Jimin, no, it's not true, Mrs. Min. We talk about this later. For now, let's do the please, Jimin. Jimin, sign as no, but you have to in front of Yoongi. बस ठीक है घर कमरे च नहीं रहता तो मैंने मज़ीद नींद आई एक मेरे नाखून ने मेरे ना तंग किया ना नींद में इस तरह आंदी जिस तरह मैं फोन अखा बंद की मैं सो जाना आय हाय चाह तफा Yoongi I do and Park Jimin did you accept me Yoongi Jimin I do he closed his eyes and crying you both may. It's alright, Shad. I announced you both. He said, and everyone started clapping. Mrs. Min hugged him. He started crying more. Mrs. Min, everything become fine, son. She make her calm and take him. Hey, bestie, don't cry. Jimin see him, and then Hana come with someone. Hana Mini. Jimin heard the voice. He looked up and see his sister. He didn't waste time and run to his sister. Jimin, Nona, are you okay? Where you go? Hana, Mini, listen. Jimin, Yoongi did something with you. Tell me, huh? Hana, what? What, Yoongi? No, Jimin, actually, I go with him. We are, and now I come just for you. Hey, बेचारा Yoongi. मैं Yoongi दोनों सेम मासूम. To see you, Jimin. Jimin, huh? Yoongi did nothing. Hana, no. What you do with me, huh? Jimin turned. He looked at Yoongi and then he looking down. Hana, I am sorry, Jimin, but we can't stay without each other, and that's why I take this step. And Yoongi make you happy. I know. Jimin looking down because he said so many things to Yoongi, and Jin nodded. Jimin, okay, Nona. He looked at Yoongi. He didn't look at him. JK, now so happy ending. Jin, no. I think someone is at Jimin. He said in chasing tone, Mrs. Min. Everything is so confusing, but God bless you. She said, and Hannah went to her. Hannah, I am sorry, Auntie. Mrs. Min, it's okay, Hannah. It's about your future. It's about your life. And Hannah smiled, and now everyone is happy. Jimin is trying Yoongi, who is ignoring him. Now it's time to go, and they go. Only four texts. Jimin sat on the bed waiting for Yoongi to come. He is so nervous. He don't know how to react. And Mrs. Min come. Mrs. Min, you want something, Jimin? Jimin says no. Mrs. Min, I know, Jimin. All this happened so suddenly. Hope so you accept him. He nodded and she smiled. Mrs. Min, good. And I want, she said, and Jimin eyes widened. Mrs. Min, you both have so much time in university also. She said, answering. Jimin looking down and she go. Jimin is red now due to embarrassment. He smiled. Jimin in mind. See that where my life take me. Nona is happy and I am also now. I am thinking what if I said yes to Yoongi and I don't? Said him so many things. He is alright on his place and I don't even listen him. In make everything alright. He think and sign. He think and sign. He is thinking. He's thinking, and then the door opened. Yoongi entered in the room, and his eyes fell on Jimin. Only he know how much he is happy. Jimin is in his room in front of him with all the rights, but Jimin didn't did right with him, so he thought to ignore him first. He dared go in her bathroom, and Jimin shocked. He didn't change, and he looked at Jung and make up out. Jung is doing all this just because Jimin said him so many things. Time skip. Yoongi come out. He started to dry his hairs. Jimin went to him and just stand beside him, but Yoongi don't see him, so he stand in front of him. Their height is almost same. Yoongi, Jimin, are you Jimin? Hi Yoongi, are you actually? But he did not. I did so wrong with you. First I do so many things, and now also today. I know I do. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Still forgive me. You said right. I fell for you a long time ago. I just didn't tell you because Yoongi, because you think about your sister, not about me and you. Jimin looking down. Jimin, what I do, Yoongi? Yoongi now also go to her. Jimin, no, he said, and Jimin make up out. Yoongi, don't make up out in front of me, Jimin. Jimin, then forgive me. He said, and Yoongi looked into another side. Yoongi, sorry. Here I. Yoongi, Jimin, don't do this. Jimin, sorry now. पागल हो गई मेरा भी कसूर है नींद आ रही बहुत ज़्यादा थक जाती मैं हो जा खत्म other option also he closed his eyes Yoongi eyes widened this is unexpected he didn't think Jimin do this so he also closed his eyes Yoongi good boy पूरा 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 1 मिनट डाउन वॉइस ओवर मेरा कहने वाला वॉइस ओवर नहीं करना मैं की करा नेक्स्ट टेक्स्ट में की वॉइस ओवर करा ना जो वॉइस ओवर होना ना कुछ और ऐसे मैं थंबनेल बना देना बच्चों बच्चों मैं की करा सिर्फ और सिर्फ ना 30 सेकंड 30 सेकंड इसका मेरे महाल होने जैसा पता नहीं क्यों है अगला तरह बोली अच्छा सिर्फ 5 सेकंड 4 एक is such an also I hope so you guys like if you like then subscribe and tell me in comments bye bye check your face out